Good morning. So today I'm talking about the weather and leadership. Yesterday I talked about the washing out, and actually I think it's really interesting how the weather can certainly for me it has an impact on how I feel, and I do find it quite crazy how having sunny weather suddenly makes us feel brighter, literally metaphorically like the weather. Whereas when it's cloudy and dull and raining, we can feel ugh. So it can have a real impact on our mental health, I find. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the fact. So I was just thinking today, we've had 2 days of really lovely sunny weather in UK, and you can tell people's spirits are lifted. People are much happier. They're looking smiling. They're just fully more relaxed. It's just great to see. So I think, how does that reflect on our leadership? Because we can feel like that. We can have some days where we feel like in a big black cloud, like it's really hard work. Other days, things flow and they're easy, and that's what we want most of the time. So I have a think about how you feel in your leadership, because what can you do to shift from that kind of heavy feeling that we can sometimes feel when it just seems hard, like the wading through treacle, because it's unnecessarily hard. And I know I'd speak for myself that I can feel that too. And so what can you do to shift your mindset so that suddenly it feels lighter? Now, often, as you hear me say a lot, it's having a break, a pause. Obviously, ideally, we have leave, and there's Easter coming up soon, so I hope you've got some time that you're taking off then. But it's having that pause in the day to get yourself some break, just to get some fresh air, to get some lightness in your day, because that is where the magic happens. So see how the mood reflects how you feel. You know, sometimes we can feel we're in the clouds, and that's great in the terms of strategy. We want to be up in the clouds in terms of having that transformational visual thinking, and that's where our teams are there to do the card graph, the tactical stuff, the practical stuff. But it's so easy when we've come up through the chain, where we started off down in the tactical. When we're stressed, when we're overwhelmed, and when we feel we've got so much going on and we don't know what to do next, it's so easy to slip into the tactical, because that is what's familiar. And yet, that is not where we're meant to be as leaders. So notice as well is what happens when you're feeling stressed, what happens when you're feeling overwhelmed, because this is when the sober comes in that I talk about, the stop, the observe, the breathe, the evaluate, and then respond. And stop is literally stopping what you're doing right now, because when we're in that headspace, all feeling overwhelmed and stressed, we'll never think. It's blocking off our creativity. Our fear, fight, and flight's kicked in, and it's not going to go well. So this is where we need to do that regroup by stopping and pausing and breathing, and concentrating breathing out more than we breathe in. So then we can reevaluate our system, and therefore our stress, our cortisol starts dropping, our creativity pops up, and then we can think is, what do I need to do next? And that is when the magic can happen. So on this sunny day, I wish you a very happy day, and just notice if you had your emotions related to the weather, how would you call it now? Would you call it sunny? Would you call it cloudy? Would you call it misty? What would you call it? Because that can be a real insight as to what we need to do next to get back into the blue sky and the lovely sunshine and the feeling good and the feeling empowered and confident and resilient. So what can you do that would actually find really helpful? So have a good weekend, look after yourself, and I'll see you back on Monday. And I have so many tips in my book, The Courage to Be You, that you could find really helpful. And always here to have a conversation too. So let's speak. Take care. Bye.